Hello everybody and welcome back to the Data Playbook. Today we have the Sunday pregame reviews, so let's get right into it. Getting into the last of the Sunday afternoon games, you have Kansas City at Buffalo, where Kansas City is favored on the money line with a spread of 1.5 and a total line of 53.5. This should be a really good game, with Kansas City with a scoring rank of 7 and an allowed scoring rank of 2, so they're very good at stopping their opponents from scoring, very good at scoring themselves, as is Buffalo with a scoring rank of 4 and an allowed scoring rank of 9. Kansas City has a passing rank of 5 and an allowed passing rank of 3, so they're very good at stopping the pass, as is Buffalo again with an allowed passing rank of 2. Not quite as good on the passing rank with 15, but they are the best in the league with their rushing rank of 1. Kansas City with a allowed rushing rank of 11 and a rushing rank of 8 against almost the worst team in the league at stopping the rush, with Buffalo at 31. But Buffalo likes to use their tight ends. They also are very good at stopping tight ends. So that'll be a good matchup. I'll just move these over to the averages so that you can match these up with all of these rankings. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Mahomes averaging 24.5 fantasy points per game this season, and Josh Allen averaging 22.3 fantasy points per game this season. Obviously, these QB ranks are not quite right, so ignore those, even though I'm working on those. Mahomes has had 4 passing interceptions this season, with no other turnovers. Josh Allen has also 4 passing interceptions this season, but also has a rushing fumble. Flipping all of this over to the averages and the week by week so that you have that, as well as seeing how they impact the rushing game. Here you have Mahomes with 21.8% of the team's carry share, and Josh Allen with 23.1% of the team's carry share. So you just want to watch out if that cuts into your team's rushing share, if you have the running back or anything. It might more so over here with Kansas City. It seems like it less so over here with Buffalo, but we'll look at that in the running backs next. So getting right into those running backs, you have Kareem Hunt and James Cook. Hunt averages 8.5 fantasy points per game this season, and Cook has been averaging 19.7 fantasy points. With no turnovers, we'll just flip over the averages, and then you have your week by week. Looking at their carry share, with Pachenko out, you have Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt gets almost 29.4% of the team's carry share, a little bit behind Pachenko here at 36.9% of the team's carry share. So they really do split it even when they're both healthy. And then you have a bunch of running from Patrick Mahomes at 21.8%. If we look over at Buffalo, though, you get James Cook with almost 60% of the team's carry share, much less split up. If anything, it's split up between Josh Allen and James Cook. So not much with Ty Johnson, the backup, or anything like that. Moving on to our number 1 receivers, you have Rashid Rice and Keon Coleman. Rice averaging 24.3 fantasy points per game this season with no turnovers, and that's only over 2 games. With Coleman having an average of 9.1 fantasy points this season, having 1 turnover from a receiving fumble. And if we switch over to their averages and see their receiving share, obviously Rice, with missing a whole bunch of the games, has a very small share, but is making up for it very fast. So he has 6.4% of the team's receiving share. Over here with Coleman, you have 17.5% of the team's receiving share. And now the number 2 receivers, you have Xavier Worthy and Shakir, with an average of 9.5 fantasy points per game for Worthy and an average of 12.1 for Shakir. Flipping over the averages, as well as looking at their breakdown, even though Worthy's the number 2 receiver, and he's been in quite a bit, he still only gets 11% of the team's receiving yards right now. And over here with Shakir, he gets 22.3% of the team's receiving yards, which is the largest of the entire team. Wrapping up with tight ends, you have Travis Kelce and Dalton Kincaid. Travis Kelce is averaging 12.8 fantasy points per game this season, and Kincaid's not far behind him with 11.6 fantasy points per game this season. With no turnovers between the two of them, we'll switch over to the averages and look at their receiving share, with Travis Kelce getting the largest part of Kansas City, which is to no surprise, at 22.6% of the team's receiving share. Over here with Kincaid, he also gets a very large share of the team's receiving yards at 20.3%. So this will be a great matchup. Being in Buffalo, they might have the advantage in some way, but the numbers kind of line up more with Kansas City, especially the scoring rank, stopping their opponents at 2, and Buffalo only being at 9, scoring at 7, scoring at 4. So, I mean, it's very close. It'll be very interesting. I think that it might come down to this rushing right here, with Buffalo being very good at rushing, but very bad at stopping it. So if Kansas City can utilize Kareem Hunt over Pachenko, who's out, I mean, it could go either way. This is a very interesting matchup. So that's all I have for this game today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment on what else you might want to see in the future. Other than that, thank you so much for watching.